Memorial Day of 2012, Evan was visiting his grandparents with his father, and a terrible accident occurred. Evan and his 7-year-old sister Therese were playing outside when he fell into a fire pit. He was burned over 42% of his body. The trauma was instant and sent our family of 4 splintering away from one another. Therese stopped smiling. Evan had total meltdowns when he stopped speaking.
One of the most difficult things was coming home at the end of every day and getting the update on what happened.
Child guidance was there to help pick up the pieces. You made available services I could never afford. Child guidance allowed us to create a program that best suited us.
going every week and just talking, it has made me the best me I could possibly be.
Now it's, hey dude, how was your day? He's gotten less upset with himself about bad days, or now he knows he can do it. And his outlook is obviously slightly contagious.
What's Monster's favorite letter? What? Brain.
We kind of started looking for their answer and found a lot for ourselves. It definitely unified Brooke and I as a team.
The communication has really been a huge change for us.
It can be scary. I'm a 43-year-old man that works as a truck driver in a blue-collar trade. We're not supposed to have problems. We're supposed to go to work every day. If anybody lets that stigma get in their way, it's really a shame, because it's led all of us to be better people.
If doing what we're doing today can help one child or one family, it's so worth it.
I thought that what I was feeling wasn't real, that I had to deal with it on my own. You have resources, people who can help you.
We know now that you never have to be alone. Without child guidance, we would still be fractured, but instead, we are whole.
Go to CDRC. You'll get stuff done. This plant's right next to me. I wonder what he's saying. Leave me alone. Oh, okay, I'll leave you alone. Sorry to soil your day.
You can slam your door, honey, one more time. I'll be gone, baby, I ain't lying. I'm gone, gone, gone. 'Cause I've been a joke for too long. When I don't look at me, honey, I done been and gone. You can shake your tail feather, speak your mind. You can holler and shout, darling, I ain't lying. I'm gone, long gone. I've been a joke for too long. When I don't look at me, honey, I done been and gone. I ain't lying, I ain't lying. Well, now I told you once, told you twice, 1,000 times. I ain't lying, I ain't lying. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill, on Blueberry Hill. When I found you, the moon stood still and lingered until you were my thrill. When I found you, the wind and the willow play love's sweet melody. All the vows you made were never to fade. Though we're apart, you were part of this tale, for you were my thrill on Blueberry Hill. On Blueberry Hill, a thrill on Blueberry Hill. Oh, what a thrill on Blueberry Hill.
Wow. is all I can say. Guys, I just wanted to pop in here real quick. As you know, I'm Jeff Hammond. I'll be your host tonight. I'm with the Rev Chris Trio. And I hope you guys are enjoying this because we are in here. I know we're all virtual, but you guys are just rocking it out. I love it. Wanted to thank you very much. I also want to remind you guys that if you are, in fact, looking for SVU, Special Victims Unit, that's the other channel. But you are here for the 65th Anniversary Gala. We're so happy to have you. Rev Chris and I, we have our shoes. I have my blue. He has his green. We're very festive. And if people recognize you guys, it might be for a very good reason, especially our audience tonight. Tell us why.
Well, Gustin and I have done a few of the streaming events for Child Guidance, I guess going back about a year or two now.
Yeah.
I do some nice giveaways and also some, what was it, the relay winners, right, and other good stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they are literally our house band virtually and here tonight as well, so we love you guys. Why don't you introduce the guys here a little bit?
On trumpet, we have Elliot Bild, who's all over Philadelphia, pretty much every night of the week playing around with the Who's Who, and also Gustin Rudolph on the drums. And I'm Rev Chris.
I love it. I love it. Listen, we're going to see you guys back here in just a few moments, but before we do, I want to remind you, if you haven't already registered, you still can. I want you to visit www.cgrc.givesmart.com. Make sure you register, get yourself an opportunity to bid on some amazing items that are coming your way, and we're already raising a ton of money, but you guys can win some great stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So we'll see you back here in less than 15 minutes. In the meantime, let's have the Rev Chris Trio take us out.
Tell me, baby, now has anybody seen adventures like ours outside of them bad magazines? The water's rising, I got her whiskey canteen. Honey, just look where we have been. Sleepless nights, so I'm tired as a dog. Lovers fight, working for other jobs. Don't know about you, I find them nights to be serene. Honey, just look where we have been. Didn't know I didn't have to fall until you anchored me to stand real tall. I made sure I grabbed tight your hands when we were forced to swim across this inland. When this whole gosh darn life is said and done, I think I can say, girl, we sure enough have fun. Those others around us, they got no clue what we're saying. Honey, just look where we have been. No, I didn't have to fall until you anchored me to stand real tall. I made sure I grabbed tight your hands when we were forced to swim across this inland. When this whole gosh darn life is said and done, I think I can say, girl, we sure don't have fun. Those others around us, They got no clue what we see. Honey, just look where we have been. Look where we have been. Take a look around. Take a look around.
Memorial Day of 2012, Evan was visiting his grandparents with his father, and a terrible accident occurred. Evan and his 7-year-old sister Therese were playing outside when he fell into a fire pit. He was burned over 42% of his body. The trauma was instant and sent our family of 4 splintering away from one another. Therese stopped smiling. Evan had total meltdowns when he stopped speaking.
One of the most difficult things was coming home at the end of every day and getting the update on what happened.
Child guidance was there to help pick up the pieces. You made available services I could never afford. Child guidance allowed us to create a program that best suited us.
Going every week and just talking, it has made me the best me I could possibly be.
Now it's, hey dude, how was your day? He's gotten less upset with himself about bad days, or now he knows he can do it. And his outlook is obviously slightly contagious.
What's Monster's favorite letter? What? Brain.
We kind of started looking for their answer and found a lot for ourselves. It definitely unified Brooke and I as a team.
The communication has really been a huge change for us.
It can be scary. I'm a 43-year-old man that works as a truck driver in a blue-collar trade. We're not supposed to have problems. We're supposed to go to work every day. If anybody lets that stigma get in their way, it's really a shame, because it's led all of us to be better people.
If doing what we're doing today can help one child or one family, it's so worth it.
I thought that what I was feeling wasn't real, that I had to deal with it on my own. You have resources, people who can help you.
We know now that you never have to be alone. Without child guidance, we would still be fractured, but instead, we are whole.
Go to CGRC. You'll get stuff done. This plant's right next to me. I wonder what he's saying. Leave me alone. Oh, okay, I'll leave you alone. Sorry to soil your day.
O'clock in the morning, I'm already up and gone. Lord, I'm so tired. How long can this go on? Working in a coal mine, going down, down. Working in a coal mine, woo, I'm about to slip down. Working in a coal mine, going down, down. Working in a coal mine, woo, I'm about to slip down. 'Cause I'm making little money, hauling coal by the ton. Lord, I'm so tired. How long can this go on? Oh, I'm working in the coal mine, going down, down. Working in the coal mine, woo, about to slip down. Working in the coal mine, going down, down. Working in the coal mine, woo, about to slip.
Hello, hi, how are you? Good evening. How are you? Welcome to the Child Guidance Resource Center's 65th anniversary virtual garden party. I'm wearing white because it's a party. I'm Jeff Hammond. I'll be serving as your host this evening. I'm so grateful to be a part of this evening. And with me tonight is the Director of Development for Child Guidance Resource Center, T. Luter, and the beautiful Director of Marketing, Leah Richmond. We are just so, honestly, it's been a crazy year. We all know that, right? And we love our live events because they're always fun. I miss some of you guys, the banter we have, but this is the best we can do right now, and it is the reality, right? And so we are here to not only celebrate 65 years of Child Guidance Resource Center, but also to celebrate the programs and the resources. And we were all talking earlier. Now more than ever, with this pandemic, healthcare and health-related services are so key, and Child Guidance Resource Center has been just such a pivotal role in that. And I was hoping maybe you could just share with a couple of us here, how has this last year truly been, not only for those who need the resources, but for Child Guidance Resource Center as a whole?
Sure. It's been a really challenging year. When the pandemic began, kids came home from school basically instantly, and there was tremendous amounts of depression and anxiety and uncertainty, and the demand for services exploded. We've had to really stretch in every way we possibly could to try to meet that need, with resources to people who are on wait lists, and trying to provide free things to the community just to keep people afloat until we can get them in the door, because it's really rough out there right now. Yeah,
I mean, listen, I have 2 teenage boys at home. We can go into my problems. Most of them involve drinking. But, when we talk about this evening's event, we're also talking about celebrating, but also providing resources so that we can do great things moving forward. What's one of the biggest challenges, Leah, that we're seeing as a result of this pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, as T, you said, the need is high, but also the wait list in every single program, we have a wait list. And that means that the need is there, but we can't serve them. So some of the dollars that are raised tonight would allow us to create new programs, bring on new team members, be able to meet that need a little faster, because, we say this is the mental health pandemic after the pandemic, and that's really true. Yeah, and honestly, what great timing as well, because month of May is, in fact, Mental Health Awareness Month. So good timing for us there. Listen, we're going to have a chock-full packed event here for you this evening. And by that, I mean, we're going to celebrate. We're going to share a lot of the resources that we provide each and every day. But we're also going to be hearing from some of those people who and their lives and how they've been transformed by the therapy that we have provided them, and including a couple of updates from some clients you may have remembered from past galas as well. So we're all going to have the opportunity to make an incredible difference together in just a little bit. I also, before I throw this over to Colleen, and I have a few words for you, darling, we also have the auction. So I want to make sure that we are, if you haven't registered, make sure you do go to cgrc.givesmart.com. And, we have some great opportunities. We have 2 Jersey Shore vacation rentals available. And if you have tried to get anything for vacation this summer at the Jersey Shore, good luck. So this may be your best opportunity, as well as some great and fun examples as well. So we're going to have good. So we're going to throw this out to our beloved CEO, Colleen McNichol. I'm a little sad that you're not here as my wingman, as we usually are with our live events, but you are hosting your own watch party. And before we got you all engrossed with your friends and the bar, you were kind enough to film this message for all of our viewers. Colleen?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen McNichol, CEO of Child Guidance. Thank you so much for joining us at our first ever virtual gala, celebrating 65 years of dedication to serving the mental health needs of children, adults, and families in our communities. After the year we've all had, we would much prefer to be celebrating with you all in person tonight, and we look forward to doing that again next year. But we're grateful for the opportunity to share our mission with you in this way. I hope our stories this evening inspire you to join us in our mission. The pandemic has certainly shined a light on the continuous growing need for mental health services, and Child Guidance, with your support, will be here to respond to those needs for the next 65 years and beyond. Once again, on behalf of the entire Child Guidance family, we're grateful to you for joining us tonight. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Struggle isn't always visible. Sometimes it hides behind a smile, in the shadows, around a corner, behind a door. It can affect any family and an entire community.
Child Guidance Resource Centers works where it hurts, supporting and empowering those who need it most. From wellness programs to evidence-based mental health services, we are not only a resource, we are the solution, bringing hope and inspiring change for thousands of children, families, and adults right here in our communities. With our strong team of caring individuals, we look around every corner, open each door, and shine light in the shadows to be the answer for those who don't know where to turn.
Child Guidance taught me how to make friends.
Child Guidance helped me when I didn't want to go to school.
Child Guidance gave me a place to live.
Child Guidance helped me when my mom died.
Child Guidance saved my life.
Child Guidance Resource Centers. Building strong individuals, strong families, strong communities.
Thank you once again, Colleen, and I hope all of you are as caught up in the mission and the message and the purpose for why we're all here tonight. I want to take a quick moment, however, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, to thank some incredible sponsors who have really helped make this evening even possible. First, our platinum sponsors, right? We have our Univest Financial, Creative Benefits, and the Bimbo Bakeries, and our gold sponsors, Glenn Mead, Dan and Kristen Newell, Tim Brote and Associates, Attorneys at Law, Rayner and Company, and of course, Cigna. You know, I just can't thank all of you as well, and that has to go without saying. But if you're not watching, if you're not helping, if you're not supporting, you know, we're just doing this for nothing. But I know that you guys have our back. But I have gotten some good news, just to give you guys a heads up. Our first financial update on this evening is we've already raised $29,000. So what an amazing start here, right? Give it up. I hear you. I hear you. I do. I hear you. That's probably the alcohol talking. I said I had 2 kids. But listen, so what I want to do now is I want to introduce a very special guest so that you guys can get a sense of what's really happening in our world as we go. Next, let's bring in Dr. Andy Kind-Rubin, our Chief Clinical Officer. Andy, how are you, my friend?
Good.
Oh, look at you. You're partying it up, buddy.
I'm here with my family, and I thank them so much for supporting me and supporting Child Guidance.
I love it. I love it. Listen, we talked a little bit earlier, Andy, and I just want to make sure that we touch on a couple of really key topics. And one is, as the head of clinical services, you're really in touch with how children are needing the resources and the services that Child Guidance provides. How has this last year really been for children as a whole?
Well, I actually have some statistics to share. Just to let you know, youth mental health is worsening. It's 9.7% of youth in the U.S. have severe major depression compared to 9.2% in last year's data set. And suicide remains the second leading cause of death for youth ages 13 to 26. And we've seen an absolute increase in suicide ideation and behavior. Children ages 11 to 17 are the age group with the highest percentage of severe depression and anxiety symptoms over the last year. And in September 2020, over half of 11 to 17-year-olds reported having thoughts of suicide or self-harm, more than half or nearly every day of the previous 2 weeks. Think about the impact on adults, on all of us, and then magnify this. Youth, especially teens, need social interaction for continued development and growth. Their family is important to them, but, as we all know, their friends, their peer group are even more important as they work to determine their identity and place in the world. Youth don't have the same coping skills that adults do, the same sense of time, that this too will end. So place them in a new and unpredictable situation over which they have no control, with caregivers who are stressed by the additional pressures they are confronting, and you have a population, as I said, that is anxious and isolated and depressed. Now, not all of them, for sure, but many of them. We're absolutely seeing an increase in need across the Southeast and a lack of resources to handle this.
Now, and you make a great point, and you're right. Having 2 children of my own, I see how each of them individually are coping, right? Give me a sense of how Child Guidance Resource Centers is helping to reach out to these children, and in what ways are you finding the most effective right now?
Well, so the agency went from fully open to fully virtual in literally a weekend. Friday the 13th was shut us down, and we began virtual 3 days later. So when I say that, I mean we were meeting with families and with kids via Zoom, via telephone. Now we are moving back to face-to-face, but we're also still doing Zoom and some telephone. We had all services up and running within 2 weeks, which was really important, because we all know families needed the support and assistance we provide. As I said, we're absolutely seeing an increase in need across the Southeast and a lack of resources to handle this. I'm concerned that we are entering an unprecedented time in which the need so outweighs the available resources that large numbers of children and families looking for help will go without. Now, this is not a new phenomenon, but it is definitely getting worse, and I am concerned. We know of children with suicidal behavior sitting in emergency rooms for days because there are no openings on inpatient psychiatric units across the region, or youth sitting in residential facilities for longer than they need because the wait list for community-based services like ours are too long. The need for our kids is greater than it's ever been.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And as I leave you with this, because we have one other really important thing to do together here shortly, give us a sense, because we are here not only to celebrate child guidance, but also to raise awareness and some needed funding. Where would you like to see a lot of the money that we're raising here tonight go in helping reach more children?
Well, clearly, we're going to continue to need money for technology so that we can have uninterrupted telehealth services. We're going to need some personal protective equipment. We're still going to need that. But more important, we're going to need funds for families who don't have insurance and other things, can't pay. So we're going to need money for that. And we're going to need money to hire staff. We need more staff. There is a staffing shortage across the country of behavioral health clinicians and therapists, and we need funds to be able to hire and nurture them and keep them. For supervision, for education, for training.
Well, and then I said to him, I'm going to wear white pants, even if it is before. Right. No, you're absolutely right. And Andy, we are going to, we're going to do something now together. I know you're like, what? We're going to do something here together. We have brought in our own mixologist. And as we all know, bartenders and mixologists are also our therapists. And I was just speaking to Brittany about my choice in white pants before Memorial Day. Brittany Law is here for us this evening, and you are going to walk through Andy on how to make what drink especially?
It is called a Grapefruit Greyhound.
Brittany, take it away.
Hi, Andy. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
So I
do you
want
have your
to-
ingredients ready?
Brittany, I want to say something first.
Okay.
I am not going to do it. Our daughter, Emily, she's our family mixologist, and she's going to do the mixing.
Okay. All right. So, the first thing we're going to do, what's your liquor of choice for tonight?
Vodka.
Vodka? Okay, we're doing vodka too. So, first thing you want to do, you want to have your mixing glass or a cup, whatever you work. You're going to pour about a shot of vodka, which is, you can count to 4, but since you're at home, feel free to do a little bit extra.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Then you're going to put in some simple syrup, or if you made the rosemary simple syrup, as in the recipe, you could put that in. You could put about half an ounce of that. Okay, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to pour your grapefruit juice in. So you want to give about 2 to 3 ounces of that into your mixing cup. Okay, and if you have a spoon, you can stir it up, or if you have a mixing tin like I do, you can give it a good quick shake. All right, and then you can pour it into your serving glass. And then if you have the grapefruit sparkling soda, you could top that off. Oop, careful, they explode. All right, and the last step is just to garnish it with a sprig of rosemary and then enjoy. Yes, the grapefruit sparkling soda, top that off.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right here.
All right, and the last step is just garnish it with a sprig of rosemary and then enjoy.
We gotta go. I need the teleprompter. I need this. All right, listen, good luck. We'll check back to see if they're still standing. But we hope that you guys are all enjoying a little bit of some beverage and some friendship as well out there on your own. And certainly tag Child Guidance on Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to see some of your photos and how you're celebrating alongside of us as well. So make sure to do that. But listen, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, it's time to hear from some of the families that have been touched by Child Guidance, right? Sometimes a child just needs a different kind of help at different times, and Child Guidance has them all. Sarah's son, Julian, came to Child Guidance when he was so little and did very well. Julian had successfully completed therapy, but when sudden changes took the family by surprise, Child Guidance was right there when they needed them. Let's watch.
So my son Julian started getting services with Child Guidance when he was about 7 years old. He's 13 now. We started with the wraparound service, and he was doing really well. It was suggested that, our family would really benefit from the family-based services. I was struggling a little bit. I was a little depressed. I had a lot of anxiety. We did that for a while, and then he was discharged. Next thing you know, pandemic came, and my marriage fell apart, and my husband moved out, and I noticed Julian getting a little depressed. So I thought of Lindsay, our family-based therapist. Even though she was no longer working with us, I knew that she would know where to guide me and where to lead me. And she said, you know what, Sarah, I really think that he should, we go into the Horsham Partial Clinic. Mm-hmm. She said, this is what you're going to do. She gave me the number and she said, just give them a call. And that's exactly what I did. So Lindsay, she reached out to me and she said, look, when he's discharged, we can come back in. Right. I will always remember Lindsay because she was that person who told me all the things that I needed to hear. And she was the one that gave me that validation, you know? And she would tell me certain things, and then I would think about it, and then I would go and do the self-research. And that's how I've come to realize that I'm dealing with psychological abuse. And today, through my own individual therapy, we are working on that.
Wow, that's powerful.
It is powerful because I was no longer crying. I wasn't chasing anymore. I didn't need the closure because I found it myself.
And I think that speaks to the fact that while your children were the reason that you came to Child Guidance,
Right.
as you get stronger, right, the whole system thrives. And that's really cool to see.
Yeah, another thing that I've learned through services with Lindsay is self-care is important, right? And I'm absolutely normal and human. And I think when Julian was depressed, I really think one of the major factors why he struggled so much is because I was so sad. With Lindsay helping me and pushing me to find those answers, you know, and giving me that validation that I needed, I became happier and stronger. And I noticed as I became happier and stronger, the kids were doing a lot better. You know, not only does it help the children, but it helps the parents and co-parents. Even though Dad and I aren't together anymore, we still need to co-parent, right?
Yeah, forever. Yep.
Right. So they're working with Dad, working with me, working with the kids until we get to a point where, you know, things run smoothly. Yeah, I kind of wish that, you know, Child Guidance wasn't just for children, you know? So when the kids are grown, it's like, don't leave me. I may need you in my life one day, you know?
I do.
I think that we can all speak for, you know, child guidance that, honestly, Sarah, thank you so much, right, for sharing your story about Julian, but also, too, your comments about I wish child guidance was, you know, for adults as well. It kind of is, right? It really is working for you, and that's the key to having an entire unit together. You guys are amazing as well out there. I mean, if you can't see already, the auction is going insane. Just a couple of quick, you know, housekeeping notes. There's a couple of items. First of all, the skydiving, chickens. None of you have been on the skydiving. Enough already. Jump out of a plane for some kids, damn it. Oh, sorry, that was the Greyhound drink talking. I apologize. The band liked that. Also, too, we have an incredible piece of jewelry, sterling and diamond bracelet necklace. Mother's Day, 2 days from now. Come on, guys. It's $500 under value. Let's go. All right. So listen, I want to thank you guys. You guys are doing some great work here. And let's continue with our theme here, and that is celebrating some amazing individuals. I want to introduce you to Kelly. And we're going to hear about her daughter, Morgan. And some of you may remember Morgan from our very first silent auction just about 5 years ago. Morgan has autism. And her parents were really worried about her being able to have friends, do activities, to be able to join in any groups. You know, 5 years ago, she was just finishing up with Child Guidance's social skills group. Well, let's see how she's doing today.
You know, people say all the time that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, Child Guidance Resource Centers was our village. You know, we came in at probably when Morgan was about 3. And I remember filling out a form that kind of explained our day. And every part of our day was a struggle. And myself and my husband were just completely stressed every single day. And, you know, we took her to Child Guidance. We did pivotal response therapy. We got a behavioral therapist. And she was just amazing. The way that she taught us how to get Morgan to respond. What was really great was all the ideas we were given, we did them and it worked. And, you know, Morgan really blossomed into this amazing social child that was able to interact with her peers, that by the time she was about 6, she was able to enter kindergarten without an IEP. It wasn't just giving Morgan strategies, it was giving us strategies. And so, we don't have a behavioral therapist anymore, but we don't need one anymore because we've been given the tools. So Morgan's 10 now, and every year something else pops up. So, we use the tools that the behavior therapist gave us to help her work through those things that come up. And it's because of child guidance that we're able to do that. Oh my gosh, this kid is spunky and sassy and full of life. She has her own style. I love it. She's not somebody who wants to be like everybody else. She beats to the sound of her own drum, and she's involved in a ton of things. So she is an all-star cheerleader, which is amazing because before she went to child guidance, we had her in dance and gymnastics, and in dance, all she did was lick the mirrors, and now she's out there winning big championships. And we used to try and vacation, and it was always a fail. We couldn't do it. And now we went to the Bahamas a few weeks ago, and it was unimaginable how well she did. One of the main reasons is that there shouldn't be a stigma to begin with. My child, may have autism. She also has epilepsy. And, she's still an all-star cheerleader. Like, she's still out there doing these activities with her peers. And she can do that. And if there wasn't a stigma there, people wouldn't be so frightened to take their 2 or 3-year-old to get evaluated if they started seeing differences. One of the main reasons that Morgan is thriving right now, absolutely thriving, is because Morgan got diagnosed when she was 3. And she is living a life very, very similar to her peers. Do it, because if you could see the results even just a year later, you'd wish you would have called yesterday.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here shaking my head, and quite frankly, wow. Kelly, thank you so much for sharing that story. And Morgan, you are a rock star. Are you kidding me? You are absolute living proof that with the right help and the right support and skills, you can fulfill all of your potential. And I know we're sitting here just talking about you right here. You're amazing. So thank you. You're an inspiration, and you really are helping a lot of people just in that way as well. And Kelly, you could be our spokesperson anytime you want.
Definitely.
We talked a little bit earlier about May being Mental Health Awareness Month, and we talk about it because, quite frankly, it's just underrepresented. It's underserved. People don't recognize as mental health is just simply healthcare.
Correct.
Right? And Kelly talked about the stigma, and we really do need to address that. And we want to give a huge thank you to so many of the donations, but more importantly, the leadership of this organization. And by that, I mean the board. You guys are incredible. I want to just give a shout out. We have a $2,000 donation that just came in from Jim and Tracy Wiley, and $1,500 from the board president, Greg Scott. So, I mean, honestly, congratulations. Thank you guys for that. So I know that we're going to have a number of other people that are going to jump in and help us, because that's now the time. I hope you guys are well drinking, because now's the time you got to step up. But one of the things that you and I were all talking about earlier is I wanted to give a sense for everyone that was watching, where does the money go, right? So what someone donates $2,000, like Jim and Tracy did. Let's talk a little bit about what that $2,000 can do for Child Guidance Resource Center.
Sure, absolutely. So $2,000 is just about exactly the cost of our telehealth Zoom expenses for 1 month. Yeah. So that means with that gift of $2,000, you can give therapy to every single child we serve for a month. So that's for some kids.
Just a month.
Yeah, but for some kids, that's 3 times a week. That's a lot of health care that's being delivered. So yeah, $2,000 a month. Let's figure thousands and thousands of children. You know, like figure 9,000, 10,000 kids right now.
Right. And $5,000 a month gets them pants for all of them.
Well, yes.
Because in the world of Zoom, it's questionable. So, and Leah, let's talk a little bit about what $1,000 is able to give. If someone wanted to donate $1,000, give a couple examples of what that would actually enable you guys to do.
Yeah, I'll give you 2.
I love
So first, let's keep that COVID theme going. That $1,000 pays for our PPE, hand sanitizers, all that stuff for 4 of our adult residences is for a whole month.
Okay.
And we have been able to keep them open and safe thanks to grants and donors, and that's been incredible, and that's really wonderful. And then also, $1,000 would cover psychiatric care. We have a difference between the reimbursement and what we provide, so we take a loss on that for 2 kids for a whole year.
And just to clarify, there's no cost to these children and families that are utilizing the resources,
Correct.
are there?
No, covered by insurance.
So,
Yep.
you know, but let's clarify that, right? So there's no cost to the people or the patients or that we're serving, but there is a cost to providing those resources. So that's where you guys come in, right? And then lastly, before we let these guys go crazy on that $1 million goal, to give me a sense of like what $500, because I think $500 is pretty manageable for a lot of our viewers able to give. What does $500 give?
Sure, $500 would cover, say, we talk about that wait list and we talk about the non-reimbursed expenses of people who can't get therapy and they're just looking for some place to go. $500 pays for a week of all of our free support groups, which are therapeutic groups. They meet weekly. We have one for teenagers, we have one for fathers, and we have one that's primarily mothers, but it's for any adult that comes. And they've been meeting throughout the pandemic and have been a huge resource. It also also underwrites, in addition, you also get to underwrite a couple of 10 at 10s, which have reached over 250,000 people since the beginning of when we started them last April.
Yeah, I hope that you guys are seeing a trend here for just the variety of resources that Child Guidance is providing so many people, not only just within our community, but abroad as well. Before I send you guys on your way to your smartphones to start donating and we start tallying that up, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Colleen McNichol, our CEO, our fearless leader, who has just I've been informed, is provided a $5,000 match for any 10 people who are able to donate $500 right now. So if you put in $500, if we get 10 of you, Colleen is going to match that dollar for dollar for $10,000 to Child Guidance, and we will be right on our way. So let's do this. Let's give you guys just a few moments to do all of that. Just soak it all in. I'm going to go hit that Greyhound one more time, and I'm going to throw it over to our house band, our boys here, Rev Chris Trio. So enjoy that while you guys do your thing.
Smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Good days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never had things headed so right. I'm digging how my day is just hurrying by, 'cause when you're in love, my how time flies. Bluebird singing my song, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never had things going so right. I'm thinking how my days is hurrying by. 'Cause when you're in love, my how time flies. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies. Nothing but blue skies. Nothing but blue skies.
Are you kidding me? You guys kill it. I love it. Give it up for the Rev Chris Trio. I hope you guys enjoy that as much. They're going to be back. They're going to do a little bit more for us, so I love that. Listen, we are doing great things, and you guys are doing amazing out there. Big shout out to Colleen. You're rallying the troops. I love you. You know that. Your gang has already also supported an additional $1,500 on top of what you've provided and everything else. So let's just keep that vibe going. And I wanted to introduce something that someone who's really special, not only for tonight, but for Child Guidance in particular. Child Guidance does not just touch the lives of its clients, but also its employees, right? Their mission of delivering mental health and wellness applies to the staff as well. Our keynote speaker tonight, Chester County Prothonotary Debbie Bookman, has a long history of public service and is a champion of mental health. Prior to being elected the Prothonotary of Chester County, Debbie was a Coatesville Council member at large. She served as the president of the board of directors for the Community Youth and Women's Alliance and on the Coatesville Parks and Recreation Commission. The woman is tireless. She shares the importance of mental health in every professional meeting and includes mental wellness in every project. And as you can see, she's involved in a lot of them. Coincidentally, Debbie also has served as the executive assistant to Chief Clinical Officer of Child Guidance. But I'll let her tell you about that herself. Would you please welcome Debbie Bookman? Good to see you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. It is such an honor and a privilege to be asked to be the keynote speaker here at Child Guidance's 65th annual fundraiser. My journey began in 2005 when I moved to Chester County from Brooklyn, New York with my 2 children. As a single mother, I was leaving a domestic violence situation and I wanted to give them another life, another chance at a better life. And in 2008, my ex came from New York and stabbed myself and my older daughter multiple times. And my youngest daughter at the time was 5 years old and she witnessed that. 2012, I was just trying to move on with life. I didn't want to talk about it because if I didn't talk about it, it didn't exist, right? And I accepted a position as Andy Kine Rubin's executive assistant. And I'm trying not to get emotional because it's so great seeing him tonight. He wasn't only a boss, but he was my friend and still is. And when I got the job at Child Guidance, it wasn't just a paycheck that I brought home. I built friendships, and I also learned more about myself. And while Child Guidance is for children, I got the therapy that I needed from friends like TU and Leah and Irene and so many other therapists that I understand are still there today. And, you know, I went on and I went back to school. I was finally able to get a college degree, which I never thought that I would. And I didn't know how to kind of bring my family together. And then I ran for Prothonotary in 2019, and for the first time, I admitted in front of my children that I was a domestic violence survivor. And while it was scary, my kids were so proud of me. And because of them, because of Child Guidance, I'm able to tell my story today, and I'm proud of what the person I am today. Child Guidance isn't just an agency for me. It's not just another place of employment on my resume. Every opportunity that I have to talk about Child Guidance and advocate for them is a blessing for me. Andy was always the pessimistic one in our relationship at work, and I was always optimistic. That glass is always half full. So I'm going to continue to speak with these legislators who I can now call colleagues and let them know that if you thought we needed help in mental health before 2020, we need it even more now today. I love referring people to child guidance, but what I love even more is being able to hear the stories and see the benefits that child guidance gives to my neighbors in Coatesville. The Coatesville office has operated in a deficiency as long as I've known. So as long as I have breath in my body, as long as I'm able to speak on behalf of my friends and the agency that gave me a second chance, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my part as a legislator with the legislators. So I ask that you do your part tonight. Give to this wonderful organization. We need child guidance today and every day. I thank you so much for the opportunity to be with you. It's great seeing everybody, and thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. And Debbie, thank you so much for sharing your story. In all seriousness, exactly as you said, if we don't talk about those experiences, they don't go away, right? That's the power in those words is so valuable. So we thank you so much for doing that. You know, before we get to celebrating a few of our past family members and the like, how are we doing with everything going on out in the real world out there?
Well, you know, we're doing pretty good.
Has anyone bid on the skydiving yet?
I don't know. Everything is, yes, someone bid on the skydiving. You did it,
That's
Jeff.
right.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Yeah, so the bidding is going well. We have still some really spicy items in there that I hope that, I noticed it. I don't understand it, but the baskets of cheer are not that high yet.
And they're good baskets.
Really good baskets. That aviation gin, from one of our board members.
No one's going to a gym right now.
I know. Donated by another one of our board members, that from Sam Giacomucci. Thank you. That could go up and up.
Yeah,
There's room there.
But you have some financial announcements?
I do have financial announcements. Okay.
As a director of development, I would hope you would.
As a director of development, I happen to have my notes right here. I wanted to say that at Colleen McNichols' party, Michael Navino, Kelly McCann, and Tim Dillon have each donated $500. So woo! It's a $1,500 match. And then Thomas Kelly just donated $1,000.
Love it, love it, love it, love it.
And in the spirit,
yes, go ahead.
In the spirit, I would like to pledge 1,000, but I am going to do it over a year. So that is something that I want to offer. If you have little kids like me, you can do it in a monthly installment for honestly however many years you want.
Correct.
Yeah, so
that
I'm
is correct.
thrilled to do that. My husband's happy about it too, or he'll find out right now as he's watching. Hey, babe.
Good luck. Yeah.
And wait.
But that's $1,000 a month, right, Leah?
Oh, yeah.
Your husband just went.
Well, and if you're going to do $1,000, I can't be the director of development and not match that.
Oh.
So I will also do $1,000. So that helps us.
Love it. Love it. And I've donated $1,000 as well to the good of the cause. And so we're all putting our money where our mouth is and really supporting just such an incredible organization. So keep up that good work. I want to make sure that we also keep you updated on how we're doing as a community. We're looking forward to seeing some milestone numbers from all of you, and you guys are amazing. So we have one final story we want to share with you, and it's going to be told by 3 different people. So some of you may remember Taylor, who very bravely stood before all of us at the 60th anniversary and spoke about her experiences with Family First. She had overcome tremendous tragedy, and she recently checked back in with us. But let's start from the beginning.
I got my silliness from my dad. He was always joking around with people. He was very charming and could go up to anyone in an elevator and on the street, and he'd just make friends right away. We were really close. He usually was only mean when he was drinking. He'd throw things at me and chase me, and it hurt because I wanted to help fix him. I wanted to make him better, and I couldn't. My grades kind of slowly started to decline as my dad got worse and worse. And then by the time 6th grade rolled around, I decided that school didn't matter when My dad was so sick. So I decided to stay home from school and like monitor him and watch him and try to like stop him from drinking. It kind of felt like he was dead before he died, like he was already gone. I couldn't stop running from it. I couldn't stop hiding, not facing things that were actually happening in my life. Child guidance helped me get to where I need to be. They showed me there was something in me that was alive. There was something in me that could be grown. And they helped me accept what was happening and acknowledge it instead of denying who I was or where I was. I slowly started attending school. I started caring more. I applied to college, which I didn't think I'd ever do. I just graduated actually this past spring. People in this situation should know that there are people out there who are willing to fight for you. I don't think this program is meant to like fix broken things or broken people, but it's meant to give you the tools that you need to live your life. Child guidance helped me get to where I need to be, but they can't do what they do all by themselves. They need support too. So if you would consider donating in any way, shape, or form, it would be much appreciated by kids like me who could use the help and the guidance from such a wonderful organization.
Amazing, and again, thank you, Taylor. I mean, the bravery doesn't begin to really discuss that. But to you, I wanted to break from that brief intro to her past and ask you, what would it have been like had there not been a Family First program? And how would that have impacted Taylor's success?
I don't think Taylor would have succeeded because she had tried years of regular traditional therapies. And Family First is different because it's a team of 2 therapists that go to the home and work with the entire family. And instead of 1 hour a week, basically, you have as much time as you need with a family. Like sometimes at Taylor's house, we were there. I was her therapist, by the way. Sometimes we were there for 4 or 5 hours, right? And to be able to have that flexibility and that support, you're really able to surround a whole family with the help that they need. And that doesn't exist except in very narrow niches. Only a few states have it. And Child Guidance actually has the largest Family First program in the whole country, and sees more children that are in the worst states. You come to Family First if you are in danger of being removed from your home.
Right. Right. Hey, listen, I mean, thank God it was there, and we got a little bit of background on Taylor's journey. In case you're wondering how Taylor is doing today, well, Leah got the opportunity to speak with her, and Taylor continues to thrive. Let's see.
So, hi everyone, I'm Loretta Webby, grandmother of Taylor Kelly Liberto. My entire family and I will be eternally grateful to T.U. Luter and Child Guidance for saving my granddaughter, Taylor. My son, John Michael, Taylor's father, died suddenly and tragically. Taylor completely shut down. She surrounded herself with a thick, dark shell. Taylor was simply not functioning. She went from therapist to therapist without much success. I would pick her up after her meetings and she would be so downtrodden. She would say time and time again, "Grandmom, no one will ever be able to understand or help me." It was so frustrating and sad for me not to be able to help her. Denise, Taylor's wonderful, determined mother, discovered Child Guidance. And along came T.U. Luter, creative, compassionate, and extremely competent. There were no more one-on-one sessions sitting in a chair. T.U. went to Taylor's house, her school. She followed her everywhere. T.U. included me in a group family session. This brilliant process worked. I could see the light return to Taylor's eyes. T.U. and Child Guidance did what seemed to be impossible for other therapists. They cured Taylor. Today, Taylor is a college graduate with a degree in communication disorders. She's married to a wonderful, loving man, Chris Liberto, and they have an adorable 2-year-old son, Luca, my great-grandson. Much grateful appreciation from my entire family to TU and Child Guidance for creating a miracle.
Thank you, Loretta, and that's on me. Just so we're clear, I just wanted to remind everyone we are live. I'm the idiot. I'll blame it on the Greyhound. Brittany, you're too good at your job. You know, and that was really Loretta, that was Taylor's grandmother who shared a lot of the insight you were sharing about the Family First program. And now we get an opportunity to check back in with Taylor and see how she's doing, what, 11 years later?
11 years later.
11 years later. So Leah got a chance to catch up with Taylor. Let's see how that went.
Right now I'm living in Lynchburg, Virginia with my husband, and we have a 2-year-old named Luca. He's great. Lots of energy, and he's just so sweet. Like, he'll just come up to me and give me kisses, or if I'm sad, he'll come up to me and give me a hug, and just, it's the sweet. He's so sweet. Sharing kind of normalizes it a little bit more, because I think that there's a lot of people that deal with anxiety and depression and difficult living situations that don't really talk about it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I still struggle with anxiety. It's so hard. But I don't know, just having matured and having had counseling and therapy, I've come to a point where I can just deal, I can function, I can deal with it. Well, it might be in China, I don't know. That's something we've considered, is staying there long term. I also want to have goats one day.
I love goats.
Living on a farm. I just love farms. I love to write stories, particularly children's stories. I want to maybe see a book published, if that's even possible. Maybe in 10 years it'll be finished.
Absolutely astonished, not gonna lie. For those of us who have not really endured that type of trauma or that type of just journey, it can be overwhelming to see what Child Guidance does each and every day. So it really is to be celebrated. I can't believe it's 65 years. I hope that we are doing it for so many more. Honestly, you know, I say this a lot with my own clients. I say, you know, boy, wouldn't it be great that we'd never had to do a fundraiser again, because that would just mean that we've addressed all the problems.
Everything's fixed.
But I don't think that's going to be the case. But you know, with what you guys are doing here tonight, and by that I mean, like, you guys are killing the auction right now. I don't know if you're familiar, but let's see if we can't get a little bit of an update here on this. The Give Smart, we've got. How much have we raised just on the pledge so far as an idea here?
On the pledge, we have, at least that I know of, and that comes in a little bit differently. We got all of Colleen's 5,000. Thank you, Colleen. I want to say thank you again to Michael Navino, Kelly McCann, Thomas Kelly for 1,000. All of that, and Tim Dillon, former board member. You come to Child Guidance, you can never leave.
That's true. That's true. We will hunt you down.
We keep your heart.
Yeah.
And the way to give a pledge, or if you want to donate over time, on the Give Smart app, I was just looking, you click that donate button. So you can put that you want it monthly, and we won't bill your credit card tonight, so we can talk through that.
Love it. Love it. So that's a very important point. So if for those of you who are just wanting to give, but you don't want to necessarily, or not in a position where you can give 1,000 or 2,000, what have you, but you want to give $100 a month, or $50 a month is $600. Math, that's where I'm strong at. You know, we could do that. Let's just hit donate. We'll reach out. We'll organize that for you. I can't wait to see all of the results of how we do this. In that light, we're going to keep the auction open until 9 o'clock. We're going to be signing off around 8:30 here, and make sure that the Rev Chris Trio has an opportunity to entertain us a little bit later. But you guys were telling me a little bit that everyone that's at the parties, they had their own, and there's our little update there, and some of the GiveSmart updates with the auction, that those in attendance got a lottery scratch-off ticket, and I wanted to throw it to you to kind of get it, like, what is the significance of that?
What is that about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was part of because we wanted some things that we can all be together, because we also know for mental health is about community.
Sure.
And so in this giant community that we're all part of, if you bought a rose or an orchid ticket, you receive some scratch-offs.
Okay.
And if people if they may have scratched them off in eagerness, or maybe they have them now, if it's in your back pocket or on your counter, now would be a great time to grab it and scratch it off. And while I explain it, what you'll see is when you scratch them off, of course, it's random, right?
Okay.
And that's a little bit like mental health services, that you have a need. Figure everybody who has a ticket has a mental health need. And when you scratch them off, you'll find out whether or not you're able to get treatment.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And of those scratch-offs, only 25% of them are winners, because that's just about how much is the percentage of people who go with unmet mental health needs, is 75%. Only 25% of people get the treatment that they need when they need it. And so if you won, you're like the lucky children who come to Child Guidance. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Well, and you do get prizes. We have
do.
wine and all kinds. If you're a winner, you'll reach out to us after and we'll coordinate your prize. Congratulations.
Yes, be sure you reach out to us, because we don't know who you are. So just drop us an email. We've sent you 10,000 text messages. Just respond to any of them, and then we'll know.
And if you didn't win, or you're conceivably on the wait list that we've been talking about all day long. So sorry about that, but that also provides a little insight as to the reality of where we're at, right? So together we push back on the crisis challenges, like 93% increase in people looking for help with anxiety since this pandemic started, and the rising suicide rates in teens that Andy had spoken of as well. It's the second leading cause of death right now amongst our teens, and it's just tragic, right? We're also going to continue to help with chronic challenges, like helping Morgan, right, our rock star, learn to have a life that she chooses by integrating her autism, and how autism now affects 1 in every 157 children. Child Guidance has proven therapies to treat them starting at 18 months all the way to 21. But insurance doesn't cover the costs of many of those programs. Adults who live safe, meaningful lives in homes, not on the street, as they learn to manage their mental health challenges. And finally, the mission here at Child Guidance is about creating a world where it's okay to talk about mental health and wellness, something that Debbie spoke so eloquently about. Just like our physical health, we really do need to address the stigma behind our mental health. And with our social media reach, free workshops and support groups available to anyone who wants to attend, and with activities like this one, we're building a community where it's okay to ask for help. So again, thank you so very much. And I know you guys had a couple of last thoughts as well.
Yeah, well, we just want to thank you for being with us here tonight. It's so meaningful. We know that Friday nights, especially during the pandemic, you might want to turn off that screen, so we appreciate you being here. And every single dollar, our percentage of administrative support is just under 90%. It's around 90%. 10% goes to admin, 90% to our services. So every dollar helps children directly. And we're very excited. I mean, I know there's still more time to give. We're not closed yet, but Tia, you have an update on where we are right now.
I do have an update, and right now we are at $78,902. Thank you so very much. I think that I personally like that, because Jeff was hoping for 65 for 65 years, and if we've got 78, maybe we can get to 85, so we cover the next 20 years, because I figure we can have Jeff coming. You got 20 years left in you, right?
I'm going to be drinking a lot. But yes, I will absolutely be there.
So we just want to thank you. We're so appreciative, and here's to the next 65.
Absolutely. On behalf of the 10,000 children and families and the over 200,000 people who have turned to us for help over the course of the pandemic through our videos and attended our groups, the auction will remain open. And on behalf of them, thank you very much. And you can donate anytime till Monday.
Yeah. So we're going to keep the auction open until 9 o'clock, right? So I know we've got a lot of back and forth, and I hope you guys are continuing to bid that up. But we're going to have the Rev Chris Trio play us out here tonight. And when the music stops, well, we won't be here. But you can still continue to support Child Guidance Resource Center. And I can't wait to be with each and every one of you live and in person next year. And when we do, we're going to celebrate and talk a little bit more about what your revenue, what your generosity allowed us to do, and how many children we were able to take off that wait list. So thank you so much, and special thank you to our wonderful sponsors, Beambo Bakeries, Creative Benefits, Univest Financial, Kristen and Dan Newell, Tim Brote and Associates Attorneys at Law, Rayner and Company, Cigna, and Glenmead. Chris, thank you. Take it away.
Sometimes the wind comes howling through my door. Sometimes the cold comes creeping up my floor. Sometimes the damp comes crawling down my walls. Most times them little things don't worry me at all. I got too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. To worry about the little things. I'm never ready when my rent is due. I just go hungry when my money's through. I'm real quiet when the bill collector calls. Most time them little things don't worry me at all. I've got too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. Don't worry about the little things. Sometimes I feel I should worry. Sometimes I feel I should care. And again, I'm in no hurry to be tied down by your troubles. You see, I've already had my share. Sometimes I think I should worry. Sometimes I feel I should care. Then again, I'm in no hurry to be tied down by your troubles when I've already had my share. I'm never ready when my rent is due. I just go hungry when my money's through. I'm real quiet when the bill collector calls. Most times the little things don't worry me at all. I got too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. Too much thinking on my mind. To worry about the little things. To worry about the little things. Little things like rent, bills, to worry about the little things. Wish I could read the minds of women. Wish I had gills for swimming. Wish I had movie least I looked. I wish I knew every trick in the books. Like to feel first love again and be 20 years younger. But the greatest wish I wanna come true, I want my dog to live longer. Wish I was the king of rock and roll. Wish I was cool and in the know. Wish I rode blowing in the wind. I'd like to see my late grandfather again. Like to solve poverty and cure this world of hunger. Oh, but the greatest wish I wanna come true, I want my dog to live longer. I want my dog to live longer. 'Cause when she goes, I'll be blue. And if I had the power, I'd have her live as long as me and you. But God's got a reason for everything, and in the Lord I trust. Oh, but this ain't right. God needs to see the light. 'Cause dogs, they don't live long enough. Elliotville. Up when I am sad. She's the best friend I've ever had. I don't care where her nose has been, I'll let her lick my face again and again. Her love is unconditional, and that alone makes me stronger. See, the greatest wish I wanna be true, I want my dog to live longer. Oh, the greatest wish I wanna come true, I want my dog to live longer. I want to thank Child Guidance for having us, and thank everybody out there who donated. We got one more for you. Tra-la-la, Tibatina, tra-la-hoo-na-nee. Tibatina, tra-la-hoo-da-mala, walla, tra-la-la, to-nee. Tibatina, hoo-na-na-na. Tibatina, tra-la-hoo-na-nee. We're gonna tra-la-hoo-da-mala, walla, tra-la-la, to-nee. Oh, Roberta, hey Roberta, girl, where you been? When you come home this morning, your belly was full of gin. trouble, she's really time for me. Well, I said, Tibatina, tra-la unani. We're gonna tra-la-hoo-da-mala-walla, tra-la-la-la-tina-day.